So before my group decided on taking on the topic of a single global currency, I didn't really know too much about it. I knew that it was definitely in talks in some circles, but I didn't realize how prevalent it was and how many people were actually discussing it as a legitimate economic fix.
When a single global currency was brought up as our topic, I really didn't know much about it at all, other than that the idea existed.
Before this topic was brought up to the group, I really didn't know a whole lot about it. I had heard it discussed before in government classes I had taken in high school, but I didn't give it that much attention.
My initial views on it were that I'd be willing to try it because our economy is just not doing so great right now, and it'd probably be better than our current situation. But I don't know how we would actually make the plan happen.
My initial viewpoints on it are kind of divided. While it would be nice to only have one currency to deal with, you wouldn't have to deal with currency exchanges, it still is almost logistically impossible in my mind. It's so difficult to even get a few countries to agree on one thing that getting the whole world to agree on something is going to be a daunting task.
When the group decided on the direction we wanted to take the project, I was a little uneasy. I didn't know a whole lot about the topic, and I didn't know I would have how to make an effective argument on either side. After examining the pros and cons from various websites, economists, and books online, I thought I would like to see this plan come alive. It would take time and certainly wouldn't be perfect, but a better solution, at least in my mind, than anything else.
Some positive aspects of it would be that it would help with exchange rates and make trade easier for the world in general. But a negative would be I just don't know how we could get the world to agree on it.
The positives and negatives of a single global currency are hard to pinpoint, and I certainly can't name them all right now. A few I can think of right now are inflation rates and a political agreement. Inflation rates are what most people are concerned about, and it's thought that with a new world currency that inflation rates wouldn't even be a problem, ever, because every country would be standardized, and we wouldn't have the problem of having, for instance, the dollar fall 7.5% against the Deutschmark. As for the political agreement aspect, it would certainly be extremely difficult to have all the political powers to come together and agree on every aspect of how the currency would work. Loans, credit, interest, and not to mention the smaller countries may be severely underrepresented during the decision-making process.
So my stakeholder for this issue is the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Mr. David Cameron. The UK is currently in talks to switching to the euro, but there are certain safeguards that Mr. Cameron would like to have in place in the treaty. However, those are not being met right now, and I feel like the same sort of instance would apply for a global currency, unless there are some measures being taken that are safeguards for Great Britain, then they would not follow through with it. And I think that the same is very true for a lot of countries.
My stakeholder is the Single Global Currency Association, so strong for single global currency.
My stakeholder is President Richard Nixon. He had to deal with the United States going off the system established at the Bretton Woods Conference after World War II, causing the United States to fall off the gold standard and the United States to have inflation rates higher than any previously recorded record.
Single global currency. What about it? It's exciting. It's a great way to unify the world's efforts. Think of how great a combined force of 7 billion people can be. There's nothing we can't accomplish. It's innovative. A way to say, hey, country who thrives on dominating the economies of little countries, because I'm bigger and stronger and I have nukes. This is not about you. It's about what's best for the world. It's about what can help us. What better way to fix the global economic crisis than for the globe to come together as one, if only through its currency. Finally, it's plausible. If the currency can eliminate the exchange taxes for everyone, it will save money. If it creates the need for an international bank, similar to the Swiss accounts today, it will save money, and it will regain trust in all of the banks across the world. What if a single global currency was all it took to wipe out America's $1 trillion debt? I would support it. Would you?